So with the win-win strategy, so obviously we seeing like let's say we're almost at 10% in the week, right? We're down how many percent now? Like 8% or 9%?
You
The
mean for the
markets,
market?
the markets, yeah.
Yeah, at least today. Well, the Dow is back up now, so it's recovering.
Right, right, right,
At
right.
333, so it was down almost 1,000 again today. So
Okay.
it's hard to tell. So it's probably close to 10%.
Okay.
Correction territory.
Right. It is definitely
Were you in the
correction.
trading room today? Was that you?
I was there. JW was there.
Okay, I couldn't tell. I
We were there Monday as well. So I've got a couple questions about let's say LAB U.
right.
So we got into LABU on Monday after we saw the market have a little bit of correction already after the open. So the open, we already saw a cliff from Friday into Monday,
Mhm.
and LABU is a 3-time, let's say, inverse in the biotech, right? So what is the and we sold a covered call and we had a naked put.
Right.
And what
Deep in the money.
what JW and I are trying to figure out is from the strategy perspective of, let's say, that being there, uh why now today we were doing another call for Monday scheduled for $50, right? Or something like that.
Well,
55.
yeah, but we did roll the put for $3.85,
Right.
which is unheard of.
It's huge. It's huge premium
All
on
the
the
thing
put.
that have to do is move up a couple dollars, and you can do that again. So
It's
as
huge
we got the
premium.
LABD, which has gone up, I don't know what that closed at today,
Yeah,
but
that's my question about the
that's the
L.
other because that's the other side. So you don't know. I mean, Monday after the market really went down, I thought, okay, maybe this is the bottom, and you just go forward and plan what you got planned. Since we had the other side, so that has let's see
So
here.
that's my question about the other side, right?
Yeah,
So
we went to had the other side. We went to put the LAB you put on. Okay,
correct.
so let's
I
see.
get that. I get that completely.
Yeah,
My question is, in we're working on some rules
yeah, right.
and trying to figure out, like, okay, it's still the both trades are still below where we want them to be. Neither one are profitable yet. What I get it that there's some insurance, there's some good possibilities there. What is it on the LABU that when we have the call, why would we, and I need this from your expert side, why would we not buy the call back, for example, and allow LABU as we saw the trajectory on Monday? Because I mean,
No, we,
theoretically,
no, we didn't. We sold the call on Monday.
we sold it, correct?
Yeah,
We sold the call on LABD and LABU.
correct.
LABD is going down,
Nope.
LABU is going up.
Right. That's the direction for market, but LABD went up for the week.
Gotcha.
In other words, it was up what, almost $2, $3 for the week.
In
So it's closed at 1406. So we're still below. We're above the strike on LABD. Okay. So our
right,
premium we got, is banked.
we yeah,
We can get a much higher premium this week, right? Because it moved up.
understand. On the inverse, where when the market is going down, okay? So we've got LABD and we've got LABU. Okay, let's talk about that, for example.
Right.
In LABD, okay, which it just let's say fell off. Even today, it just fell down a little bit more on LABD, which is the 3x in the bull side, correct?
Right, and we had a $16 call. Well, it's actually out to the 20th. So we have a $16 call on LABD
Mm-hmm.
and a $19 put, and we have so you're almost kind of in the middle. On
Right.
LABU, now we have a $49 put and a $50 call. Plan is to do a $50 call. What hit the strike.
Gotcha.
And it's
And
trading
it's
at what, 48 or something? So we can
it's at
adjust
45, 46 right now.
45.33, yeah.
Yeah.
Up
So
$2.
right. So I mean, there's a lot of premium there from the
Right. So we're opportunity to get a lot of premium there. Right now, in fact, it's up after hours, another buck a quarter.
yeah. I see that, which is
Diesel's up too, so the market is really
going down again.
really
Yeah.
down. So
I get you. So in that respect, on LABU, would there have been a point? Let's say, does what was our Monday call on LABU? That one was already
$51, and we bought it at 54.78. We
okay.
got $4.90 for it, so we were in the money. $3.78. We took $1.20 to the bank on the call and $1 on the put.
So we sold the 51 on Monday, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we gave ourselves $3.78 downside. It went down a little bit more, right? So it's at 46.49 right now. So after we sell this call for another $3 and something, okay, we got
we're doing really good then.
We got $10.75 on the put, the $49 put.
Nice.
Back for $3. So we got almost $7 to work with today, okay, for LABU. I mean, LABU is in better shape than LABD.
Right.
So we're trying to get out of LABD, and then what is the break even on that guy? See, that's why we put the LABU trade on. You know, it's got our break even is $18.94, and we're trading at 14, so we're $4 away.
Right.
But the call premium, okay, we already sold that, but there's good, we're still up to 16, so we got room for that guy to move up. You could buy that call back and sell one out further at a higher strike, but you don't get anything for that unless, has the market made its move?
Right. That's what we don't know.
You don't know, okay?
Is this the 10% correction, or is it going to continue to spiral downward?
This is the Cedric chart.
I know.
A couple months late. 2019. Well, it's February of 2020 when you got the major correction here, and it's what was it? It's the coronavirus. So you don't know what it's out of the blue, unforeseen situation. It wasn't war with North Korea.
I got you.
So LAB, U, and D, we can play back and forth. We're in both in a good position right now, one offsetting the other. I think, depending upon where it goes, the key is to get as much premium as we can on LABU, reduce our exit point there. And if the market, goes back, goes down some more, LABD will move up, okay, some more. So we got a lot of premium there we picked up to work with LABU.
Right. So my question is, as the market goes down and LABU goes up,
LABD should go up when the market goes down.
Well,
after hours today already, LABU has gone up $1.16 because the market has turned. Okay.
Yeah.
After hours, the market it closed at 357, so it was trading almost all day at 900 points below. Right.
All the options traders want things to go back to normal. Yes.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, and the key is everybody was saying everybody was selling today. They didn't want to hold stocks over the weekend.
Right.
So maybe all the sellers have sold.
Yeah.
Right. Now the market is sitting there.
Figuring out what to do.
What to do next. Yeah. Let's see here once where we are on the hell are the futures doing already?
Now, my question is, on the, let's say, if we see Monday that things are continue to go down, which would mean LABD will continue to go up. In that case, are we, is it something that at one point we wouldn't want to, would we just only raise the call premium, or at one point would we say we're not going to take the call premium, we're going to try to take the upside for a small period of time? Does that ever happen?
Not very often. I don't try to play that game because it's so, it's so unknown. Yes. I'd rather take the $3.50 to the bank. I know what it is. Okay.
I got you.
Because, the market changes so freaking fast. You just think of, it went way up today. It almost broke even at 12 o'clock or 11:30. And then it went just right all the way back down to 800 minus. Now it went back up to 3, close at -3 something. So the market is just gyrates up and down, and it's all this program trading, okay, that's going on. That's what's causing all the big changes, some significant changes during the day. So you don't know. I'd rather take the high premiums to the bank and know where I'm at over time. That's always, I've been successful. My own account. My CNAV didn't change this week, okay? But I took a lot of premium to the bank.
Right.
So I had a good week.
That is always a good thing.
Right. That's the key to the whole thing, okay? Volatility above 30, right? The VIX is, what the hell is it at? Where did it close at here? It was above 30 for a while. So the VIX says, it was at, at 2 o'clock at 2, at about 2:40, no, 3:30 something, it was at 30. Now it's down to 26.90. So the VIX has dropped four points within the last, since the market closed, basically. It's the last 10 minutes of the day. So already people are feeling that, okay, all the sellers sold. So now the volatility is already crashing. So today was to take the premium you could get, and that's why we went out 3 weeks to March 20th.
Right.
Because the premiums were all high. The volatility drove the premiums up. So if we waited till Monday, it might be half the premiums because the volatility already is going down. Amazing that it happened that fast. This is why the market it's because from
what's your synopsis then of the market? The market is performing wonderfully for you. You're happy.
Well,
as predicted, as planned.
The market is going through a correction.
Right.
Okay. And what do I say in a correction? Don't panic. Don't sell at the bottom. Right. Take advantage of high volatility, all the premium you can get. Take your premium at your strike that you're comfortable with. Okay. If you can adjust some up, some down to maintain a constant CNAV, but you can generate, 2-3% on those premiums, you take that to the bank.
Right.
Because, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. Maybe the market goes down some more. Okay. Well, okay. You don't know. Maybe it go up by, 2, 3, 4%. All I know is it's gone down fast. Okay. And it takes 3 times as long to get back to where it was. Okay. Or longer. So it's not going to go back up 3,000 points next week. It may go up a couple hundred a day, and then you'll have a 500-point day and a 200-point down, another 200 up. So it'll crawl, it'll walk that stairs back up. It just that stairs has got a much smaller angle. Okay.
Right. And I don't know if these exact numbers here in this chart are correct.
Which chart is this now?
So I just pulled it up. It's the CNN market turmoil chart. So this is CNN or CNBC. Sorry, CNBC runs a special report every time with Kramer and a bunch of different people when the markets start to, let's say, have some unexpected volatility, turmoil. Okay. And every time that they run this report, and it's only a special report, so they cancel the normal show. And this is something CNBC puts on, like a urgent news thing, but for the financials. And this is historically, if this chart is correct, I don't know if this one, I've seen many of them. I'm not sure if these numbers are, so don't take it for factually that everything is correct here. But generally speaking, I've seen several of these this data come out when these types of things happen. And you have the 1 week, the 1 month, the 3 month, the 6 month, the 9 month kind of correction. Of course, I mean, if this is a black swan and it's something that's unmeasurable, this only goes back to 2010 when they started the show. But generally speaking, when there's fluctuations in the market and the market is in turmoil, the recovery is, not predictable, but let's say it's in a 1 week, 1 month, 3 month time period to where 90% of everything is back to normal within 3 months. So again, that's where your philosophy of just hold on tight is definitely there.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your thoughts to the sellers today? What do you kind of think about that? So there's been,
well, yesterday the comments were that there were a lot of people covering shorts.
Right.
Drove the market down some more. Now maybe that was part of it today, but it almost got to even today at about 11:30. I was really surprised. And it just turned right down, went all the way back down to where, well, it didn't get down to 1,000 like it did this morning, but it was almost there. Okay.
Gotcha.
Why did it do that? I don't know. Maybe some buyers must have stepped in early this morning, and then the market decided, maybe there were more short sellers because people still had a cover. I don't know.
Yeah. So how about another little question here about, let's say, with your strategy, okay? So given the fact that, let's say, Tesla was doing crazy things, what was it, 2 weeks ago, to where it was going all-time highs.
Right. We almost hit $1,000.
Right. We saw the slowdown with China coming along, right? I mean, it's an obvious thing when schools are closing in Japan, when businesses are closing, car manufacturers are down, all these different types of things. Is there any step in your strategy, like let's say Monday, we put on several trades in the trading room. Are those trades that, let's say, from a philosophical or from a personal point of view that you take, or is it sometimes better in times like this with the Cedric, with the unknown, to pause a little bit? And is it better to not trade, or is it better to trade? What's the philosophy there?
Well, you don't know when the bottom is, okay?
Right.
So it's a matter of how much, what assets you have. You have any, dry powder, or your ability to buy things on the cheap, right? I don't know. It's
right. So what is Monday for most people? Most people that are in the trades in our trading room, Monday is kind of like they're probably not going to have much capital to
employ, right? Unless they,
right,
felt that they, liquidated.
Unless they didn't trade last week and they were saving it for this week based on there was a cliff on Friday. So the cliff from Friday to Monday morning had opened, and the fact that we have a little bit of time from there to see that and weigh that out. Is there any types of, let's say, deviations from strategy where those types of things come into play?
Well, yeah, the only thing is if you don't have any money to employ, you don't do the trades, right?
I got you.
The key is again back to fundamentals, and I bet we'll have a lot of buy signals because things have really come down. Okay, but it may take a week yet till you see all those buy signals and all the things that have recovered. So.
How was buy signals looking for Monday of this week? So were there a lot of buy signals? Were you kind of scratching, trying to find?
No, there were a lot. There were even a number that we didn't take on because of earnings.
Right.
There were some better ones, but earnings were this week, and I said no, I don't want to take. Or next week, Monday.
Gotcha.
Didn't want to take the chance. So we put those all aside. Follow the rules. So it's.
And is there any, let's say, factors? So we got a lot of premium, and we're generating a lot of premium. CNAV is there. There's going to be a lot of opportunities on Monday. Let's just talk about, like, let's say, capital allocation and things like that. So in a perfect world, given this scenario from Friday of last week to Monday of this week, are there any rules or mathematics or anything in play based on, I mean, of course you can't predict what's going to happen this week. But let's say seeing from a Friday to a Monday, is there any mathematics there that go into play where you just, when there's such a deviation from last close on Friday to open on Monday, is there some number there, Ron, that you think that really just signifies a new weight signal?
Well, I really don't know. I have never looked at it that way. I guess, I'm looking at opportunities all the time, not just, done for you. So the key is, I mean, there are a lot of the big stocks, Microsoft, even Amazon, they've had big corrections. Okay.
Yeah. Apple has had a huge correction.
So there are big opportunities because I know Microsoft's got a lot of bare cash. Okay. They're big successful and they've been hit, like everybody else. I mean, their stock prices have gone down significantly. So now when is the right time to buy? I say, well, you don't know. In fact, it did come up a little bit this morning and then was back down. So is that the signal that some of these guys have bottomed out?
Right.
And no matter what happens next, they're kind of, okay, now there are opportunities. I mean, it's
okay. So with that being said, as long as a opportunity is a good enough opportunity and the fundamentals are there, the picking, or let's say the equity, really doesn't matter that intrinsically much on the entry as opposed to the exit. I mean, the exit and the management side is obviously the most important part, right? So if you've got time and you've got premium, the entry and that particular equity is, it's good to have a little foreknowledge depending, but it also depends on how much allocation you have, where your strategy is, and what kind of things you're working with from that point of view.
Well, and really need to look at, I'll call it the technicals on the chart. For example, Nike was up today. Microsoft was down. Okay. Why was Nike up today? Okay. Maybe Nike already has turned the corner. And if you look at the chart for the last 5 days, down this morning, and then flat at noon and now back up. Okay. Wow. After hours, it's moving. Okay. So
right.
I have to look at the my chart to find out, okay, where is Nike? Is it in the V? Is it an opportunity? I mean, there should be.
I got you where the market
is right now.
I mean, there's no justification in Nike going up whatsoever, because as far as I'm concerned, and as far as the world is concerned, the supply chains are still very problematic. So China, as a overall, let's say, market maker, you wouldn't believe how many things. So I'm getting calls from, let's say, governments all around the world. Not let's say, it's a fact, and even from the Chinese government itself. Now, the Chinese government is looking for the components of thermometers, the digital components of thermometers, right? So their own supply chain of something that's predominantly made in China is zero. So I think when you think of something like that, just something like a digital thermometer, and then you expand that into the markets of scale, when we're talking about Nike or Apple or even Microsoft having, their and Tesla especially just operating their new gigafactory or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it doesn't seem plausible or possible that a real recovery, aside from we want to change our mind recovery and have a little bit of a good feeling about it, but it doesn't seem possible mathematically. And just considering everything we do as a company, all those companies have supply chains. In order for them to make money, they have to have the product, the raw materials, and whatnot to make that happen. And with factories being in a shutdown state, how can we see it really go up, other than, all of a sudden today the market likes Nike, but really if their factories are down, it doesn't make much sense to me.
Well, yeah, I don't, but is the majority of their supply from China, or is it from the other, Philippines or Hong Kong or Vietnam? I don't know where they get their shoes from. Okay, it's their shoe factories probably the most.
Yeah,
driving their revenue.
And that's like
Microsoft is immune to the virus. Microsoft doesn't have a hardware supply chain. I mean, they have some hardware, but they're a software company, right?
Right.
So totally opposite. And they've been beat up like everybody else. Now, Caterpillar and Boeing, I can see where they're going to have issues, but there are a lot of these companies that don't have that, don't have that exposure to the virus itself, right? Other than employees.
Sure.
Apple.
So what are those particular
things already are turning around? The factories are starting to open up. So I don't know if I can believe him or not. He's dependent.
Yeah, it's. I think there's, from my understanding, factories are starting to open up, but the supply chains are impacted right now. So it's going to take some time. And then if they do open up, is it going to cause more problems or less? Nobody can predict that, right?
Yeah. Right.
So we just don't know what the consequences of opening up more factories will be. It's something that we have to see. But let's say, there are more closures, schools close, Italy is, I mean, really the reason that the markets got hit on Monday, in my opinion, is because it finally got to Caucasians in the markets, got into Europe. And, I believe that most American investors don't really, not to be racist or anything else, but they don't consider Asia as much as, oh my goodness, it finally hit Europe. And Europe, for them, even though the supply chain is directly connected to China, appears to be more, let's say, problematic when it started hitting a place like Italy, because it's been going on in China for over a month, and the markets here went crazy up, which makes absolutely no sense because they've been feeling, the shipping woes and whatnot, because Trump has, put a kibosh on a lot of that stuff. So it seems like it finally hit Europe. Something happened there. So what kind of companies are you looking at for next week? So right now we're talking on a digital meeting place. So they canceled the Mobile World Congress, which is 100,000 people. Switzerland just banned all live events of more than 1,000 people. I think we're going to see a lot more of that. So cruise ships, car companies, maybe even Uber and Lyft are going to have like quite a bit of downturn of actual customer revenue. So what are the stocks? I mean, I see Zoom, I see, companies that are, integrated into, because obviously people still need to have commerce and still need to do business.
Right.
I don't have to catch your cold. You and I are talking here on something like this. So yeah, software companies are obviously going to
Netflix.
Right. What is really immune from the virus, because
Yeah.
gold, what's going on with Nugget, for example? So how do you explain Nugget?
Well, gold was down today. It was up the last 2 weeks. Okay.
Right.
So
How do we explain Nugget in the event of something happening? You'd expect gold to be also up.
it was for a while. I mean, it was early. It was up early because people moved to safety.
Right.
Buying what, 30-year interest or 10-year is 1.16% or something. Unbelievable.
Oh, nice.
That's almost zero. Who would buy a 10-year, interest-bearing bond for 10 years, 1%? Give me a break.
That's
Interest rate might go up, but the value goes down. I don't, people just dumping money into it to put it someplace. I don't know. Let's see here. Where is? You got Amazon. Amazon is up after hours. It closed flat today. So Amazon is through the cycle, but they're all such high priced. Can't put them in the trade alert or in the done for you.
Yeah.
Oil, Berkshire.
Yeah, those are hard things. Now, how about beverage companies like Coca-Cola? I was looking for there isn't a real good public shipping company. So that you've got Amazon Prime, which is Amazon. That is something there. I think obviously more people are going to start getting deliveries and staying away from, let's say, going out to the supermarket if they can avoid it. There's a couple different services like Shipt and Uber Eats. Most of those aren't public companies though. So they're still in the private sector. It's probably a great time for them to think about IPO. Their revenues will probably go through the roof in current times. But things like pizza companies and things of that matter, they're probably going to do pretty well during times like this, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, unless they are really exposed to China. I mean, Starbucks and didn't a lot of those companies closed the stores, right? Closed their facilities in China.
Right. Yeah.
That's how much revenue they get from China. If it's a lot, it's going to affect them. If it's 20%, maybe they can absorb it and it won't affect them. I don't know. That's part of it. So
yeah, and I think probably a lot of those food companies have to close for liability reasons, right? Right? I mean, it's
no, not really. No, it's not a food contamination.
Well, if one of their employees has it and they give it to
coronavirus is the flu, different type of flu.
Gotcha. I'm well aware.
We've had flu all the time, and people still go to the fast food joints, right? All those restaurants have done well during wintertime when 20,000 people die of the flu in the U.S.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, those people they shouldn't go to McDonald's or shouldn't go to a restaurant. Might get the flu and die. Well, that's where we are on the coronavirus. They're just trying to make sure that it's the process of how it spreads is what they're concerned about, because they have not nailed that down and they don't have a vaccine. They have some medications that reduce the severity, I guess, but it's not.
It's Tamiflu combined with an HIV medicine.
So
is what they're really using, because there's several places that really it binds to cells similar to HIV, and
So what
that's
was the news after hours? Here we have TNA, the daily small cap bull 3X. It was down $2 today.
yeah.
Extended hours, it's up $1.79. So within the last 30 minutes at the market close, it's almost moved back up what it lost. TQQQ up 2.5% after hours. So something is going on. So those are maybe the ones we got to look at. You say, wow, that's like getting in LABU. Well, LABU is up too.
Right? I know.
So
It's one of those things that is
these are traded after hours. So there's after hour up volume on a lot of stuff. Facebook is up 50 cents after hours.
well, Facebook is
They're up
also,
$2.70 today. So
they own WhatsApp. They should be
well,
up.
yeah, they are now another, they're just an electronic company. They don't have any China exposure, right? I mean, it's internet.
Not too much, and they're
Virus unless you
more people are going to be using Facebook, WhatsApp to do business and conduct their meetings on, as opposed to seeing people in person. So yeah, definitely.
Facebook was an opportunity here.
Facebook is a very good buy.
So that's a good one.
Absolutely, because they own WhatsApp, and WhatsApp is
Right,
WhatsApp.
just like Microsoft. They all these big guys that got hit just because the market went down. I mean, they're not
Right. Facebook got hit for no reason.
It's not related to their business. It's related to the program traders. Okay, everything goes down. I mean, the tide goes down and they all go down. So now that's an opportunity. Wow, it's even moved up too. I mean, it's up $1.50 after hours. Microsoft is so.
Yeah.
By Monday, it'll be up $2-3. So that's say that the we're having an upside possibility. That's true. It's possible. I don't know. I'm just talking.
Yeah, I know. It just seems. I think we'll probably see some bounce, right? But the plausibility of long term, at least to the summertime of a major upswing, if all of a sudden the virus disappeared, but they've got news out that the Pope has it now, so
I know. He should have stayed home.
Yeah, he's out shaking. He's out shaking everybody's hand, right. And come on, use your brain.
I got news here from Bloomberg. The market plunged 11% in the last 5 days. So we're 11%. Down 11%.
So that's officially a correction, right?
Well, yeah, 10% is a correction. So
it's officially corrected, which I think the market had to do anyways with the nonsense with Tesla and all that other stuff. I mean, they can't, that was ridiculous. The stocks are almost doubling, I mean.
Yeah, that is an aberration. That is a total. I mean, that's a lucky trade if you got in it and held it, for a week and then sold it, because it'll be back down to 300 here probably in another week. So
yeah,
all that was, and he was smart because he sold, I don't know how many $1 billion worth at $765 a share.
Yeah,
your guy is smart. Okay, stock is trading at 800-900. He says, well, I'll sell it to you for $750 a share. It's trading at 800 on the market.
Boom,
sold. I don't know how many $1 billion worth.
Right. And he still came out way ahead.
Came out way ahead. He's got the money in the bank and the shares are out there. Okay. Now if the shares price goes down, it's no skin off his back.
Exactly. He's not concerned
investors who
with the undeliverable deliverables. Yeah. Yeah. Especially now with China and their gigafactory, So I mean that's gonna take some serious time. So all in all, things are good. We're following the plan. What other tips do we have for investors right now?
The other sector is the pharmaceutical, or the one we were in, Rite Aid. Rite Aid is another one that we maybe should go back into. CVS, Rite Aid, or Walmart or Walgreens.
Walgreens, right?
They
Yeah.
get a lot of extra traffic when people are, wanting to get medication, so they have
Well,
higher.
if they come out with a vaccine, they're going to go through the freaking roof, right? So if the vaccine
Well,
comes
the
in,
companies that produce it will, but who are the ones?
yeah, but now
That's throwing
now
a dart. That's throwing a dart. You don't know which company is going to get there first. So
no, I got you on the who
yeah.
gets the cure, but when you need to get a vaccine nowadays, generally speaking, it's done at CVS
Oh, right,
or
right.
Walgreens, and
Yep,
they're going to get that extra foot traffic in there
yep,
from the
right,
flow, like they do with their flu shots with Tamiflu or anytime one of these other flus came out. They do extremely well during those times.
right.
So that those are definitely hot and something that we should, um, look at, right? I mean,
Yep.
it's something that's definitely quite on point. Now, China opened their airlines up again too. Of course, U.S. isn't taking their traffic. That's kind of a risky scenario. So, what's your thoughts for, let's say, the airline sectors and travel in general? I know a lot of people I'm hearing are canceling their travel plans.
Right.
Trump advised people to travel internally in the United States and not there's a bunch of beautiful places to visit here, not to travel too much.
Right. Probably a good,
The price of gas is going to go around.
Price of gas is way down, and oil is below $50.
Right.
That'll probably stay there a while because demand is down. I mean, there's no other way other than turn the spigot off, and I don't know if the Saudis are going to do that. So, so people can afford a lot more stuff with the price of gas.
Right.
Crude.
Yeah, I don't think they can afford to turn the spigots off too much. That's not been happening lately, and I think Trump made some kind of deal with them a year or two back not to turn those spigots off, right? I mean, he
I don't know.
He went over and made some kind of private deal with the Saudis.
He made some kind of a
yeah
handshake.
When they put all those
oil was down to $44 today. In the middle of the day, it's back up to $46.31. So it's recovered $2.30 on the day. So maybe oil now has already also bottomed out here.
It's a good price, let's say. It's a good price. We still have a little bit of ERX there, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah, that has been a problem, but okay. Crude oil. Right. So crude oil, wow, could be the bottom today at 44 if you go back the last couple of weeks.
Right. Now, if there's more
54, for its $10 drop, and now it's back up $2 from that. So,
but how low?
An opportunity,
right? How low?
Oil.
How low can it go though? So if there are more travel bans, can it go lower? That's the question. $42 a barrel. That's like, that's a production cost right there.
That's right. That's kind of.
It's hard to get it out of the ground for cheaper than that. So
that's right. So if people can't make any money, then they stop pumping, and then the price goes back up. Right. Supply is less.
Right.
Price goes up. So it used to be right around $50 that the Saudis would, turn the spigot off, and they let it get below 50 here now.
42 is the number that's really.
Well, that's the Russian number, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, that's true. But it's still quite a number. I like to gauge most of that gas and oil at.
So okay, well,
because it's pretty international of really what it costs to do those types of things. So yeah, that probably is a good point of being an opportunity. And any other kind of industries, we saw Corona beer take $132 million loss. Thankfully, they're not a public company; that they are private.
Corona beer because of the name.
Right, Corona beer because of the name. It's amazingly people have stayed away from the Corona beer. So
It's crazy.
yeah, and who knows if those numbers are real, but it's funny just to think about $132 million loss because of
free advertising.
Yeah, exactly.
Free advertising.
So how many billions of dollars were lost this week from, let's say, a freight? Was it 17 billion or how many trillion? It's some.
I didn't write it down. It was a big number.
It's a big number. Everybody got back to where we should be, and those who bought high are just waited out. When you look at the, you know, when you look at the numbers in the application window here that I'm about to show you again, it's the market's in turmoil. So it's not a long.
That thing is so small, I can't read it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
On my screen, I don't know if I can't get it any bigger.
I'll send it over to you.
Yeah, send it over.
It's it's one of those things that is not exactly predictable, but it gives you a better feeling for how long something really takes to get back, because most of this fear is very short term, and then by next week everybody's going to have a different.
Well, that's why the VIX chart gives you a good indication too.
How is the VIX chart looking right now?
Well, it's within the last hour, it's dropped 4.35.
Okay, so volatility is dropping.
Volatility is dropped. It peaked at 30. That's been the peak here all since this whole thing started. Okay.
Gotcha.
For the week or for the okay, that chart is too granular. Let me go back to the hour one here. Okay, we were moseying along on February 21st at 16.
Okay.
Right? And on the 24th, it moved to 18. On the 25th, it got to 20. The 26th, it was at 22. 27, it got to 24. And today it hit 30. And just like that, it dropped now, 3.7. It dropped since it hit the peak today. Just after hours, it's dropped significantly. That's a big percentage gain. I mean, it's already dropped 12% from the peak. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
UVXY hit a cliff today at 350. So, well, it was right around, maybe not even 350. It's right around 350. It just completely dropped off the map, all volatility.
Well, see, that's what I mean. So there's something brewing.
And that,
I mean, all the sellers have sold. Okay. So sentiment must be turning. There must be enough feeling that, okay, we've hit the bottom now and things are going to start turning around. I mean,
yeah, the volatility is it's at an all-time weekly low from February 27th. So we're back to the same price that things were, let's say, last Thursday.
This is on UVXY?
Yeah, UVXY.
Okay.
So it's hovering right around between Thursday and Friday. Sometime after hours on Thursday, it was the same price.
Okay.
So it's actually.
So that trade you got to be watching it and be quick in the sense of being able to make a move that gets you anything.
Yeah, I mean it was the 27th through now, but yeah, it's definitely a challenging one. It's just something to look at as a good idea of where things are at, where they're going. But yes,
right.
The cliff for volatility, it's keeping going down. We're at 2166 now, right? So it's
the chart up here,
it just keeps going straight down in after hours. So whatever fears there were, I mean, I think obviously somebody made a lot of gains. The Trump announcement was "Don't worry, so make everybody worry" kind of thing, and just keep your head about you.
Yep.
All right, Ron. Thank you very much,
Well,
man.
I just hope everybody that was into trading to realize and took advantage of the fact I said premiums are significant, and if you don't pay them, say, well, I'll wait until next week till they get higher. Well, by next week they're going to be lower. So if they didn't take that to the bank, then
right, the premiums are going to be higher. The stocks are going to be back up higher next week. The premiums are higher this week.
Well, they're going but they're going to go down. I mean, the volatility drives the
premium.
Premium, right?
Right. So premiums are already down.
Yeah. Just to already show UVX, if that drops that much, just think of the price. It's the premium.
Yeah, the volatility on Monday in our premium is going to be way lower than it was today.
Yes.
So a lot of those rolls we did, we made a lot of extra money than if you waited till Monday to roll.
Yeah. So that's what it is. You got to be satisfied what you can get, take it to the bank, and then
That's why Fridays are important. All right, Ron. Thank you, man.
Where's the royalty? You're sending a check or what's happening?